On the website, we have the report writing application tab that you click on, and to the left you have the search function, and over to the right you have the encounter details. You can click on this counter for the third patient, and if we do that, we'll come to this next page where this is essentially the report word processor. So at the top here you'll have predetermined tabs, psychosocial, pre-designed templates for competency evals, neuropsych evals, disability evals, and all of the patient details can be here at the top, time of the encounter, and so forth. Actually, here's the patient details right here. This is just a basic word processor you can access online through the website. You can record things, and off here to the left you can basically customize these headings and determine what you want it to look like. For instance, at the top, if you hit psychosocial, these headings would change according to whatever psychosocial you desired, which you decided to have in your own psychosocial or whatever your employer wanted to see. I can highlight this information, I can delete it, I can alter it. You know, like I said, it's just a basic report writing application. These conditions are familiar to the medical community, so I'm not totally aware of them. You can see here that there are things here we don't know anything about, we've not been trained in, but they're symptoms, you know, and we're familiar with that. And you can click on the symptoms, and as you click on the symptoms, it will populate the document. Patient complains of a sore throat, cough, chills, fatigue. You know, that could easily be decrease or increase in sleeping, appetite, and so forth. Over here to the right are all the different encounters or progress notes for this individual patient. I can click on any one of those and pull up a previous progress note or a previous report in order to review it. There might be something that I'm a little fuzzy on. I want to pull it up. I can look at it. This particular encounter note doesn't have any details associated with it, but it gives you an idea of how easily you can just pull it up and review previous notes to kind of catch up or remind yourself about something. As we see here, this is a view scanned documents. One really cool function of this is you can upload Rorschach templates, you can upload MMPI data, you can upload anything that you can scan into it, and you can easily access it, including consent documents, anything. I'm drawing a blank on all the different things that we could scan into it, receipts, anything. So that's associated with that patient's file. You could also copy previous notes. We always know that there's sometimes portions of a report that are kind of generic. So this gives you the option to kind of do that. This also is where you would kind of determine what your headings are and what they look like, and you could click or select or deselect certain headings. That would then change the portion off to the left here. Let's see here. This is essentially an opportunity to add an assessment for diagnoses. If you're writing a report, we know that different types of reports have different things that they cover, and so you could come in here, say type in MMPI, and it might pull up all the different scales of the MMPI, and you could automatically populate those with whatever scores the patient got. Or that might not be so easy with all types of psychological testing instruments, but a good number of them. You typed in Beck's Depression Inventory and it would automatically, well, I guess that's not really a good illustration, because that's more of a screener, but the IPI or anything like that could be programmed into that. Over here we have the diagnoses, as well as here's the ICD codes. What you do is, when you start typing in, say, major depression, it would pull up all the different codes associated, all the DSM codes associated with major depression. You could click on it. It would automatically fill out the code as well as the type that you selected, and pull up all the criteria that needed to be covered in order to fulfill that. This function right here is an electronic document signing. You can sign with your 4-digit personal PIN. It would automatically sign the end of the document with your signature. This could also be done by your supervisor if you're a trainee still. Here's the signal. You didn't quite see it there. It was right there. But you can go back and take a look at that. But that's a real nifty function, because that means that your supervisor can log on and be able to view all of your progress notes or psychosocials or reports from home, and sign off on them, make modifications, make suggestions on how things should change, and you could log in later that night and see if they looked at it and if it was signed off. I think it would really increase the efficiency and the speed at which progress notes were reviewed and completed. We all know that at the end of a session, that sometimes we don't want to sit down and write it. Give us 30 minutes after we process the material and we're okay to write it, but right then, it'll be a little tough. Right here, what we're doing is we're going to administrator functions. You can change the number of administrators, you can add, delete signatures, you can edit contact information. You can do anything if you are a supervisor of trainees. Let's say you return to your alma mater and you teach, and now you're supervising. You could go in here and kind of just change who has access to what. So that's basically kind of a brief overview of what would be covered in this, and in this report writing application. It's certainly not extensive by any means, but if you have any questions, feel free to contact me about it. Thanks.